Alrighty. That was a really good game until the start of the fourth quarter. It was 14-10. They get the ball, and they convert 2 fourth downs. They score. They onside kick. They score again. They pop a kickoff down there. We get pinned inside the 10. Shank a punt. They score again. It was 21-0 in the fourth quarter. So great job by Georgia. I thought they did a nice job. I wish we could have taken advantage of a few things earlier in the game offensively, especially in the first half, that we just weren't able to. And, at that point, it was unfortunate because we thought we could have had a more balanced attack, and we didn't because we got behind in the fourth quarter, and we had to start throwing at that point. So disappointing. It was a pretty good game for 3 quarters, and it was not a great game in the fourth quarter, at least not for us. So I think the challenge for us now is we got a 2-week season in front of us, and we got to get up off the mat. We got to go compete, and we got to find a way to go win the next 2 ball games and see what happens. So that's that.
Raise your hand if you have a question. Start with Jeff. Your offense has become very pass happy over the past few weeks, but over the past few games with Georgia and even this season, your team hasn't been able to run the ball.
I thought we actually ran it pretty good. We just didn't get enough opportunities.
Candy, go ahead.
Steve, in that fourth quarter, do you think it was just lost composure? What you attribute?
I don't know. The first fourth down, they snuck the tailback out of the backfield, out the back door. We didn't defend the play very well. It's unfortunate because we actually practiced that play. And the second fourth down, we jumped off sides, and that's just mental intensity and focus. We jump off sides. And then they score, and on the onside kick, we didn't break on the ball. And that's on us as coaches. We've got to do a better job of getting our players understanding situational football. We go attack the ball, and we have an opportunity to get great field position in that situation, and we didn't take advantage of it. So I don't know necessarily if we lost composure. I think we lost some focus. We lost some mental intensity in the fourth quarter for sure.
Go ahead, Eric.
Steve, after Georgia scored touchdowns in the first 2 drives, the defense, I think, go punt, and of course you hit the 19th minute to the hill. How crucial is it for your offense to kind of come up with something?
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. We had the pretty good first drive. We had another pretty good drive. We get the interception in the red area. But we dropped some passes. We missed a couple throws. We get some holding penalties, and so we kind of had some self-inflicted wounds in there where I felt like we had a pretty good plan, but we weren't able to stack it all together to make it all work. But to your point, yeah, you got to play complementary football in games like this, and our inability to do that in the first half was pretty glaring. Like I said, I thought in the third quarter when we cut it to a 14-10 game, it was like, okay, let's go play. And we just couldn't put it all together. We couldn't tie offense, defense, special teams all together tonight.
You're far right over here, Coach. Dennis?
Coach, as far as CFP chances, do you still feel like you have that carrot?
We got a 2-week season in front of us. We got to go play. We got 2 games. It's 2 weeks. Let's go play. Let's put our best foot forward and see what happens.
In the middle, Anwar?
Coach, I know you haven't had a chance to look at the tape, but defense over the last 3 games has kind of been uncharacteristic as far as some of the leagues are concerned. Have you seen any common threads? Do you know what's going on over there?
No, I mean, to tie it all together from the last games to this game, I'm not exactly sure. I know we got hurt some on some perimeter throws, on some easier completions, and I thought we started to tighten up coverage-wise there, but it's kind of too many free completions. Obviously, a lot of the bootleg type plays hurt us tonight. With people leaking out the back door, whether it was the tight ends, receivers, running backs at different times, and so our eye control, our eye discipline, I think needs to improve there. But probably the biggest area where we got to get back to playing is in the red area on defense. We're not forcing field goals and we're not creating turnovers, and so we've got to get back to playing better red zone defense. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
In the middle, Bob?
You have a bunch of explosive plays in the first half. How frustrating is it to not be able to finish on some of those drives? And then is this a humbling loss, or how do you kind of?
It's a frustrating loss. I would say that. It's frustrating because you feel like you're prepared to play. I really did. I felt like our players were really engaged, ready to go. I thought our staff was. Everybody was. And like I said, it's a 14-10 game against a really good team on the road. Let's go play the fourth quarter. And us just not playing the fourth quarter anywhere close to what the standard is around here is very disappointing and frustrating. I can't remember the first part, what you're – yeah, again, to your point on that is what I was saying earlier. It's like there were so many kind of self-inflicted things offensively for us that was probably the most frustrating part for me. Because I don't think it was like, man, we couldn't block them. I mean, I felt like we were blocking them okay. I felt like we were getting open. I felt like when we wanted to run it, it was effective. When we wanted to throw it was effective. But kind of stubbing our own toe was the frustrating part to me, where, to your point, stacking plays on top of plays, that's what we need to do against quality opponents.
Middle center.
Steve, what you said you guys in the fourth quarter when it starts to go downhill like it did, and how do you keep that from carrying over?
I don't think it'll carry over. We have too much character in that locker room. We got too good of a culture. That part is something that I know the leadership in that locker room. We got a ton of fighters. So that's I got other concerns. That one's not my bigger one right now.
Right, Curtin.
Steve, is there something about Georgia and their style of play that's kind of been a rough matchup for your Texans?
They're a good team. They're a good team, and I think that the first time around, we played a really poor first half, and we fought our tails off in the second half. Very similar. It was a 23-15 game. They went on a 90-yard drive and made it a 30-15 game, and then you're playing catch-up in the fourth quarter. SEC championship game, we played really well. We didn't put the ball in the end zone. We missed some field goals. We go to overtime and lose. And tonight, it's 14-10 going into the fourth quarter. So I don't think it's necessarily a style of play. But I do think we've got to find a way, when you're playing these types of teams, these quality opponent teams, you got to play all 60 minutes, and you got to tie it all together from the front end to the back end, and you need all three phases. And we weren't able to do that tonight.
Stay over here. Kevin.
Steve, the onside kick, had y'all seen them do anything like that? And that seemed like a little bit of a backbreaker at that point.
Yeah, not that onside kick in particular, but we knew where we might be vulnerable to one. We actually practiced that kick in practice with anticipation that it might occur, and we didn't field the ball, And so, it was a risk they were willing to take because it's a 21-10 game. We field that ball. We're getting the ball in the plus 45, and with offense with some momentum to go score, they took the risk and they recovered it. And inevitably, those are momentum-changing plays for sure in games. Any game in particular, but in games like this, those are momentum-changing plays. They took the risk. They made the play, and it was a heck of a kick and nice recovery by them.
In the back left, Terry.
Coach, are there a couple of areas that you really liked about this game, the way they played, that lose to the standard?
I know our guys came ready to play. I know we played hard. I know we competed. Obviously, a very frustrating fourth quarter for everybody. But I don't want the fourth quarter to be the overriding. That's all that happened in the game. That was one quarter of the game. I thought we played pretty good for three quarters. Now we need to play better. We played hard, but the fourth quarter was, for lack of better terms, a disaster. We got beat 21-0 in the fourth quarter.
Two last ones. Hey, CJ, go ahead. Evan.
Hi, Coach. Just how would you assess Sarge Manning's play across?
I thought he competed well. I wish we could have made a couple more plays for him, especially early in the game in the first half. I thought there was a couple throws there that he was high on. I thought the interception, he was a little high, but thought he competed. Thought he made some throws. Again, I wish we could have been maybe a little better around him, especially in the first half.
Last one over here on the far right.
You sort of touched on it, but can you speak just to the challenge of facing a Kirby Smart coach team, both in the preparation and the game day decision making?
Yeah, no, they're a great team. He's a good coach. They got good schemes in all three phases. They got really good players, and to their credit, that's why they've been kind of the standard of college football for the last 10 years. So, I've always loved the challenge of playing them, and I'm going to love the challenge the next time we get an opportunity to play them.
Thanks, Coach.